Hi, welcome to The Art of Yoga with Cat Justice, and this is month 8 in my prenatal yoga series. So if you're doing this video, you're probably between 7 and 8 months pregnant, and you're probably noticing that your belly is getting very big. I know mine is. So figuring out how to manage the belly while doing yoga can be involve a lot of creativity. It can also be really fun though, because it's a challenge that we have to work with in order to engage, to find our core. It can be really challenging and fun. And you might also be noticing kind of that increased flexibility in your hips and things like that, which we want to not overdo it, but we want to enjoy it as much as we can without destabilizing the sacrum at the lower back. So that's a fun challenge. So to start, we're going to come to seated, and you can find any comfortable seated position. You can do it in a chair, you can prop up on a bolster or a blanket, but you're going to come to seated with your eyes closed. And as you close your eyes, just feel your body kind of line up. So with the belly getting bigger, it means sometimes that center line of our body, that central channel of energy, kind of shifts a little bit. So just kind of trying to imagine that you've got this central beam of light or ray of energy dropping from the crown of the head to the pelvic floor. And think about just lining your body up around that ray of light. And breathe in and out through the nose. Feeling the breath dropping down into the belly as best it can. And with the eyes still closed, go ahead and take one or both hands onto your belly. And with the hands on the belly, you might feel little movements, little wiggles coming from the baby to be. But it can also be, especially if this is your first pregnancy, feeling your body grow like this can be kind of disconcerting. It can be kind of alienating. So just taking this time to just feel the belly and to just accept it as part of you. Send a little love to the belly. And from here, as you're directing that loving kindness to your belly, also starting to work through the Kegel muscles, through the Mula Bandha. So just doing a little lift of the pelvic floor, and then soften it. Make sure you're breathing as you go. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift through the pelvic floor, and then let it go. And last one, lift the pelvic floor, and let it go. And then from here, opening your eyes, and let's switch the cross of our legs so that they're getting equal time in each cross, if they're crossed. If you're in a chair, don't worry about it. And let's just do some gentle circles for our wrists to just kind of get some of that fluid flowing through the joints. So circling the wrists around, and then switch direction. Keep the shoulders light, find that central line of energy, lifting tall. And then from here, go ahead and take the palms of the hands together, and we're going to try and stay connected through the wrists or the hands in any way that's comfortable. Keep the shoulders soft, and now we'll do some deeper circles. So you just try and stay connected through the wrists or hands as best you can as you circle around. You'll notice there's a little more motion now at the elbows, at the shoulders. Breathing comfortably, go ahead and switch direction. And then release the hands back down. From here, go ahead and take the right hand down, and we'll inhale, lift the left arm up and over for a nice little side stretch. As you lift up and over, you can imagine like you're lifting up and over a big beach ball. Let that right elbow have a little bit of bend to it so that you're not crunching the shoulder. Grounding through the right hand, as your right hand kind of grounds and maybe presses away from you, you can feel that deeper opening into the left rib cage. And you can look down, you can look up, or anywhere in between, whatever makes the neck happy. And then inhale as you rise back up. We're going to take it into just a very gentle twist over to the right. Just let the arms relax down, and as you twist, think of only twisting from your heart. Leave the belly alone. So the belly and the lower back stay neutral, and it's just a nice little twist for the upper back. You can keep the gaze going over the right shoulder, or if it's comfortable, you can turn your head the opposite direction and kind of fine-tune the stretch in your neck, just dropping the chin or lifting the chin until you find a little bit of a stretch. Nothing too severe. And again, make sure that your breath stays steady. And then we'll exhale to unwind and take the other side. Left hand grounds down. Inhale up and over through that right arm. Let the left elbow have some bend to it. And again, feeling that opening in through the right rib cage, those intercostal muscles between the ribs. And exhale for that gentle twist to the left. Let the shoulders relax. Again, twisting just from the heart up. And then you can keep looking to the left, or you can look to the right and fine-tune that stretch in your neck. Dropping the chin or lifting until you find, a comfortable stretch, nothing too forced. Keep it gentle and keep your breath moving. And then exhale to unwind. From here, go ahead, take the hands back behind you and take it into a little bit of a heart opener. And again, as we lift through the heart, don't crank the neck, so keep the neck long. And don't worry too much about stretching the belly. The belly is getting plenty stretched as is, so you're just going to think about lifting the heart. Let the back bend come just from the upper back. Stay connected to the breath without jamming the shoulder blades together. Just feel your shoulder blades as if they're kind of creating a little shelf for your heart to rest on. And exhale, go ahead, come forward. And then from here, we're going to move into child's pose. So you can come onto your hands and knees, and you're going to notice that you'll need to take your knees extra wide apart to make room for the belly in child's pose. From here, you can stretch the arms down and let your head rest down. If it feels more comfortable to bring the arms to the sides, that's great. You can prop your hands under your head. You can lay a bolster under your hips, that works well too. And as you breathe here in child's pose, just feeling that softening through your hips, through your back, your shoulders. And then inhale, gently rise up to hands and knees. From hands and knees, we're going to stretch out the ankles a little bit. So you can lift the right foot up and then just take a few circles. Maybe 3 times one way, 3 times the other. Circling through the right ankle and then the left, 3 times each way. Grounding through the hands, make sure that you're not just dumping the weight into the wrist. Think of using the whole palm of the hand. And then from here, after those ankle circles, let's move through cat and cow. So you can exhale, round through the back, drop the head. And inhale for a gentle arch. Shoulders away from the ears, just gazing comfortably forward or slightly down. Exhale, rounding for cat. Feel the belly draw in as best it can. And inhale as you come into cow, just control that movement so that you're not just plopping through the lower back. Let it be slow and controlled. Exhale, rounding for cat, moving at your own pace, follow your own breath. Inhaling for cow. And take it through 3 more rounds. Feeling that slow ability for the belly to draw in and for the belly to draw down, but just controlling the movement in both extremes. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep the jaw, the face nice and relaxed. Then after that third round, you can go ahead and come back to neutral. So finding that neutral spine. From here, go ahead, tuck your right toes under and slide your right leg back. As you reach back through your right leg, you might feel a nice little calf stretch, which is great. You can hang out there or see what it feels like to just slowly shift the weight off that right leg. Nothing else moves except the right foot floats up towards the sky. From there, if you're doing it and you're in a balanced place, you're going to notice that there's less weight on your left hand. And you can just hang out there, or you can move with that and reach through the left arm. At the same time, you're feeling the belly draw in, like the belly button is drawing towards the spine, creating stability through the back. Maybe even engage that Mula Bandha, but make sure you're breathing. And then slowly come back down. We'll take the other side, left toes tuck, and slide the leg back. Take a moment for the calf stretch, just because that's really good. I don't know about you, but I get calf cramps with all my pregnancies, so this is a really nice stretch to kind of get out of that crampy place. And then shifting the weight off that left leg nice and slow. The hips stay strong and steady. Belly draws in, floating the leg if that feels good. Noticing if you've got less weight on the right hand. If so, that's great. You can hang out there or you can reach. Again, breathing, engage that Mula Bandha, draw the belly in. And then exhale back to child's pose. Nice wide knees, sitting back and resting down. And then from child's pose, we're going to move into downward facing dog. Go ahead, stretch your fingers nice and wide, tuck the toes, engage that Mula Bandha, lift through the pelvic floor, shift the hips back as you come up into a downward facing dog. And this first down dog, feel free to block the feet in place or shift the hips around, kind of ease into the pose, find that comfortable spot. And it's always okay to have your knees bent in down dog in order to keep your back long and straight. And from here, let's just take a little mini vinyasa. We're going to inhale, come forward for plank. If you want to place one or both knees on the ground to support your body in plank, that's awesome. Otherwise, engage the belly, reach through the heels and the crown of the head. And then exhale, gently lower the knees to the earth. Inhale for cow. And exhale back to down dog. Take that through once more on the breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, down dog. Coming back to the breath, relax the neck. And then from down dog, inhale, step the right foot forward, and we'll rise up into a warrior one. You're going to bend through the front knee until you can just see the big toe to the inside of the knee. You're going to ground through the outer edge of the back foot. Right hip draws back, left hip forward. Lift the Mula Bandha, lift the lower belly. Kind of draw the belly in, like you're hugging the baby in. Exhale, take the hands to the heart, and we're going to open out into warrior two. So you'll step your front foot in a little bit, so your feet line up heel to arch. You're going to reach through the arms, bending the front knee again until you can just see the big toe. Breathing here, soften through the shoulders, feel the hips open, but open in a strong way, like they're drawing inward. Again, lift through the belly. Exhale, take the hands to the hips, pivot that right foot so that now the feet are slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, lift through the heart, and exhale for a forward fold. From here, you can take the hands to the ground, or if it's comfortable, you can interlace the hands and reach them up and over. Relax the head. Knees can be bent any amount. Inhale, lead with the heart to rise back up. And then from here, we're going to flip around to the other side, pivot, and exhale, downward facing dog. Draw the weight off the arms, use the strength in your legs. Let the head relax. And then inhale, left foot steps forward, warrior one. Bending the front knee until you can just see the big toe. Arms reach up. Hug the baby towards your spine. Stay connected to the breath. And exhale, hands to the heart as we shift for warrior two. So now that front foot steps in, heel to arch, arms reach. Soft shoulders, strong hips. And then exhale, hands to the hips, and pivot the feet again. Slightly pigeon-toed. Legs are straight, but the knees are unlocked, so don't lock the knees back. Inhale, lift through the heart. This time as you exhale, take your hands forward. Walk the hands forward for a really wide leg down dog. Let the head hang, fingertips reach forward, the hips reach back. Inhale, gaze forward, strong legs. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, flat back, rise it on up. And then pivot back to the front of your mat, and we'll take it back to child's pose. Lowering to the knees are wide, and rest it down. And if you're in the mood for a more energetic practice, feel free to take that sequence a couple times. You can just rewind the video and move through that warrior one, warrior two flow a few more times, or you can just hang out here in child's pose. And from child's pose now we're going to come onto our backs. So you can flip around onto your back, and as always, if lying on your back feels like you feel a fast heart rate or like it's hard to breathe, roll onto your side until it feels normal again. But from here, we're going to take a twist that again works more through the rib cage and the heart than it does through the belly and the lower back. So to help with that, we're going to lift our hips up and we're going to scoot them over to the right, one little step. As you scoot, if you're like, oh, that hurts my back, try engaging the Mula Bandha. Lift the pelvic floor and then lift the hips. That sacral instability, the instability at our sacroiliac joint when we're pregnant can be pretty intense, but the Mula Bandha will help. And then, similar to that pain can happen too when you take the knees to the side. So engage the Mula Bandha. We're going to lift the feet up off the floor, kind of hug the knees to the belly, and think about keeping the belly and the back stiff. Keep them steady and let the twist come all the way up into your rib cage as you slowly lower the legs to the left, keeping your shoulders on the ground. You can gaze to the right, you can gaze up, you can gaze to the left, whatever's comfortable. If this feels too intense, like too much of a stretch through your belly, you can always have the knees lifted, or you can grab a bolster and place it under your knees so that the knees are resting on the bolster. This is actually a really nice option. This feels great to me. Couch cushions work well for this too. Doesn't need to be a fancy yoga bolster. And then from there, you're going to, again, engage that Mula Bandha, lift the knees, and bring the hips back to neutral, back to center. If you're using a bolster, you can automatically flip it to the other side. And then from here, again, engage the Mula Bandha, lift the pelvic floor, lift the hips up, and step them to the left, one little step. From there, you're going to inhale, knees to chest, draw the belly in, keep the lower back firm. As you exhale, feel the twist coming in through the rib cage, in through the upper back. You can have the knees resting on the floor or a bolster, whatever feels better. And both shoulders are on the ground, and you can gaze to the right, to the left, or anywhere in between. Just feeling that twist moving through your heart, moving through your ribs, and let your shoulders melt. Inhale, bring the legs back up. Once again, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, bring the hips back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to move into a happy baby pose. From there, you can bring knees towards your belly and then wide. So the knees are wider than the belly. From there, you can just take hold behind the knees and just gently hug in and rock side to side here. Or if it feels good, reach your feet towards the sky. Again, you can hold behind the knees, or you can take hold of the outer edges of the feet. If you feel like your back is coming off the floor, maybe switch back to holding behind the knees. You want your lower back flat on the ground in happy baby. Engage the pelvic floor as you press your sacrum, your lower back, into the floor, gently pulling the feet down. And exhale, gently release. From here, slowly take the feet to the floor, and we'll move into Shavasana. You can have this nice bolster to place under your knees and rest on your back. But again, if resting on your back is not feeling so good for you right now, you can do this lovely side-lying Shavasana. So for this one, it's nice to have a blanket folded in that kind of narrow rectangle shape to help support the belly and the lower back. You can have one bolster for under your top leg and another bolster for under your head and your top arm. So you position the blanket so that it's under your belly, top leg rests on one bolster, you get a little tunnel for your shoulder to melt into, and then the other bolster goes under your head and your top arm. Or you can just lie on your back. Either way, closing your eyes and melting into the sensation. Releasing tension from the body. All that strength work that we did in our core to kind of hold the belly in, to try and protect our back, to create stability. Now we can just let things soften. With every exhale, feel the tension melt out of the body. Letting everything grow heavy and soft. As you breathe here, it's always a great time to kind of focus your awareness onto your internal sensations. Often when we get still, that's when the baby-to-be starts wiggling around. And just noticing those sensations if they're happening. I know I've got a little break dancer in my belly, so he likes to rock out as soon as I stop moving. And resting here in Shavasana. Feel your whole body continue to melt. Staying present with the sensations. Maybe sending some loving kindness to your growing belly, both for the little creature inside, as well as just for your own body. Honoring the changes that it's going through. And sending some loving kindness towards those changes. Acceptance. Maybe even a little bit of joy. It's a pretty awesome thing to have a living being inside of you and to allow your body to grow to accommodate that. Feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as you want. You can pause the video and just stay where you're at. And when you're ready to come out, you're slowly going to wiggle fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. If you're on your back, you can hug your knees to your chest, slowly roll to one side. If you're on your side already, eventually coming back up to a comfortable seated position. You can prop up on one of your props, or you can move them aside. Taking your time, once you do return to upright, find your Sushumna, find that central channel of energy from the crown of the head to the pelvic floor. Let the shoulders relax. Once again, take both hands to your belly. Feeling that sense of loving kindness, of acceptance, maybe even a little bit of joy or santosha, a little bit of contentment for all of the amazing things that your body is doing right now to help support this little creature. The eyes still closed, inviting a hint of a smile onto your lips. Inhale, let the hands float up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, thumbs to the forehead for peaceful thoughts, to the mouth for peaceful words, and to the heart for peaceful action. Om Shanti, Namaste. Thank you all so much for playing with me, for watching this video, and for trusting me with your body and all the changes it's going through right now. So have a great rest of your day or night, and stay tuned for, we'll do 2 more prenatal videos into kind of the last months of pregnancy, and then we'll continue on with some postnatal videos afterwards too, things that you can do to help that transition from being pregnant to not, and from maybe not even being a parent before, or being a parent but having a new baby, and honoring that transition as well. I'm also going to do an advanced practice 3rd trimester video. So for those of you who've been practicing yoga for a long time and are experienced and know how to take care of your body, there are some of the more quote-unquote advanced practices that are still doable when you're pregnant. So we're going to play with those in an additional video to be coming soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Namaste.